Okay, finally. Welcome to Season 4, Week 4, Snails versus iMagine. With me today is Versol. And I forgot to turn Steam messages off. Hello, Versol. How are you today on this fine afternoon?
I'm doing lovely. How about yourself?
I'm exhausted. Note to anybody watching, never offer to stay up and cast Australian matches.
Have you actually been to sleep?
Yeah, I took a nap before I casted the Aussie match, and then I took another nap afterwards.
Oh, power nap's nice.
Yes. And I plan to nap after this as well. So after many delays, we're about 40 minutes late.
Just 40 minutes.
Just 40 minutes.
But on par with NS2.
To be expected. Standard delays. Oh, and then after this round, or after this map, we're gonna have to wait, because Eagle Eye's gonna have to go smoke.
Might be doing that now. He's in the ready room. Might be just getting one out of the way now.
I don't even know what we're gonna see. No predictions. I don't know who's gonna win.
The viewers are gonna win.
The viewers are going to win. They're gonna have a grand old time.
So, looks like Eagle Eye joined up and they're gonna be starting soon. Both teams playing with their non-standard commanders. IM's playing with Iros, who is on the roster, but typically their commander is Highball. And Simba actually Merc commanding for Snails today from the team Narcolepsy, the North American team.
Stepping up into the big leagues. I hope he can understand some French. Sometimes Snails forgets that they have a non-French person with them. Since they do speak French in their team speak. Hopefully we'll get this underway shortly.
Oh, and it's starting. Wow.
Here we go. Snails on Marine starting in reception.
How do you predict that?
A magical being. Imagine starting up in atmosphere.
Looks like we're going early upgrades for Snails.
Yeah.
Which I like early upgrades on this map. It's easy to block off your base. There's no vents into your side of the map, so.
I would definitely agree. You only have to block these two lanes and seating in canopy. Or even bamboo, rather. To cut off that junction. I am just kind of peeking around, trying to get some parasites up.
Now I am confused about what's going on the alien side. We got two drifters out at the naturals, well even further at west route, but no cysts, nothing else going on.
I think he's expecting some instant pressure. And so the drifters are there to like detect the marines so he doesn't lose its res from cysts.
I suppose, but they've got the whole team basically parasited.
Yeah, he should be cysting somewhere. At least get the maturation time going. It's only 60 seconds.
Just gonna lose that drifter in west route? Yeah. Okay.
Iros is a little out of practice. Oh, B1's in the chair. What?
Oh wow. Yeah, I didn't even notice it until you just mentioned that. And now we got two drifters in Agri Lamps.
Command station under attack.
Oh,
French cheese. Oh my gosh, they're just gonna take it to falls.
Yeah, this had to have been planned the entire time. Because
Well, they're just popping the cherry.
yeah, they can't drop it. So they dropped the 2 side. Hydra's going up. Luckily, they've already predicted that that's the first to be built.
Yeah. All the aliens have to do is pick all the Marines. They don't have to kill any more
Command
structures.
station taking damage.
Yep, no meds. Every little bit of damage they do is important here. So we have 4 Marines left.
Oh,
There's
they're
one
gonna
left
get
to
this tear
see.
down. This is game.
They're
They have
still
to run
on-
all the way back to platform.
Yeah, the aliens are gonna totally ignore them because they know the place left is platform, and they're definitely gonna be there. So this is over. So that had to have been planned the entire time because they literally didn't assist. They had the drifters up, and they went right for base. So yeah, that had to have been planned from the beginning.
They went through seeding, right? As soon as they pushed out bridge and bioreactors, I think they went in from Hydra, right?
I was confused by the drifters and everything. I was looking at the side of the map. I didn't even notice them until they were in base. To be honest.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, that was not a reaction. That was planned from the beginning.
The French getting cheesed. You can't really blame that on Sunbat at all.
No. The only thing I'm still curious about is why B1 was in the hive and not Iros.
Harris is back in. Well, he's in now. Unless they're gonna do some sort of like calm minds strat.
Well, we see a return of the cheese from the French.
A return cheese. Is this gonna be the fastest match ever after the longest delay to start? Cheese, cheese, cheese.
Well, on Biodome too, right? You either cheese and win fast, or it's an hour-long game.
Yeah, that's
Not
true.
a whole lot in between.
This map's so easy to stalemate. Imagine up 1-0 against legendary Snails.
You know what else I'm surprised about? Not a single person said anything in chat. Normally when there's like a cheese round, there's some shit talking between the rounds. Not a word was said.
Wob did say $5,000. Did you miss that?
It's not in my chat at all.
Angie said GG. Wob said $5,000.
Oh, there it is, yeah.
$5,000 strat.
Okay.
Waiting on Snails again. Wait, we weren't waiting on Snails. I'm so confused.
It's a
Doesn't
pretty
matter.
quick ready.
Here we go. Parcel, take it away.
Alright, well, spawning a reception. We've imagined this time. Let's see if they go the same upgrade tech path that Snails did. And Snails starting up in Atmosphere Exchange. They're going to go ahead and assist, though, so I think that maybe they're not going to go for the cheese.
It's going to be a shotgun rush.
Oh, man. Now, this doesn't have to be a cheese. This could be a high-risk, high-reward normal strat if you play it that way, but if they go for straight cheese, I'm going to be kind of impressed they do 2 cheese in a row like this. Alright, shotguns are done. They don't have any armors in the field, so...
I'm thinking, yeah, they're all going to collapse and falls and build an armory there. Snails does have a good spread of skulks, so they're going to get a lot of information. They know where all the Marines are.
Heracles and Wolf, they know that all those Marines are down there. If they just... So they want to try and take this before they can redo the relocate.
They're not even going to relocate. They're just going to build the chair, build the armory, get shotguns, and go. Because that way the aliens have to kill 2 command stations instead of just 1. And the Snails don't recognize this as a shotgun push. They think it's a relocate. So they're not even on the chairs yet.
Now they know.
Now they know. They really have to clear these shotgunners. It's the only way to win this game.
You have to pick one at a time because the reinforce is so long that if you can get at least one, then you can start working them down. But those 2 deaths right there is a big deal. This is probably the end, to be honest.
Nowhere near dropping a second hive. All the res has been spent.
Yeah, that was those 2 skulks right there without getting kills bad. This is over. I don't see them being able to clear this now, especially because the eggs are not going to be able to spawn. 1 skulk versus 5 shotguns. Can't spawn any eggs. Well, you can now, but this will be 3 max. It's over.
Not even getting a frag. 2 cheeses in a row, and it's working.
GG.
Gonna get 1 more egg spawn, but I don't think it's gonna do anything.
You need like the most heroic skulk clear ever.
And that hive's dead. GG. 2-0 iMagine.
Wow. Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Easy. What map are we going to after this?
Summit is next. Wob living up to his name of WoBM. The longest wait into the shortest map.
What's funny is, I mean, I know that there were the 2 skulks. It was Heracles and Wilf. If they had gone to base there, I think they may have stood a chance because they could have gotten the chair down and had the commander out. And that means no one else is able to spawn, no meds. I mean, they could have gotten in the chair in falls and then dropped another IP, but that would have delayed them maybe long enough to actually prepare an adequate defense.
Yeah.
And if they push without the commander, that means that you actually stand a chance of winning that.
That definitely could have happened. Those extra seconds, if they had to build like an IP or something in falls, that puts them at like kind of the area where lurks might come up during the fight. And if you get lurks up against no meds, shotgunners, you're kind of screwed.
Right. I'm not even sure they really had the res for an IP, to be honest. It may have been really close, and if they had the IP, then it means no meds or anything. Yeah, just watching back to the video now, because I've got it on my other screen. It looks like they could have recycled the armory and then built an IP, but you're talking about living on fumes there for a while.
Yeah. Stuck waiting for server.
Yes, I am as well.
There we go. All better now.
I might have to just reload because I'm still waiting.
Yeah, I had to reconnect. Now, who's going to cheese this time?
I'm betting on both teams cheesing each other.
Who's going to cheese better? It's really not something I expected. It was the two cheeses back to back.
Well, particularly from IM.
Yeah, from Snails I would kind of expect it. Because they do have a history of they like to have fun playing the game. And choosing people is a lot of fun.
Now there's a little something to be said about the mental game from there, like already being down 2 rounds. But I don't know how much of the impact it's really going to make on these games.
I don't think I'll have much fun at all.
I do think that maybe it's not going to affect them in their play, but it might affect how they open. For instance, playing a lot more safe early on, just to make sure that you're not getting rushed to base and putting your aggressiveness a little bit on the back burner off the beginning.
Yeah, that is true. I could see them doing a little bit more safe openers, but I could also see them kind of thinking, well, we're already down 2 rounds, let's just play super aggressive, and if we lose, oh well. It is still really early in the season, so losing rounds here, you can make them up later.
Right. In Premier, every team plays each other twice in the season.
Yeah. So while it is, you want to win as many rounds as you can, of course. It's not such a huge deal if you're down a couple of rounds going into the middle of the season.
I think Wolf might be having some connection issues.
Yeah, he's working a little bit. His ping's not spiking though. Ready call from Snails, waiting for iMagine. Summit's a map that we all know and love. Maybe we'll see a Crossroads relocate.
I don't know. Crossroads relocate's pretty decent on this map, but I don't know if it's really that strong to try and open up into.
There's the ready from IM. It looks like Iros is starting in the chair. And here we go. Round 3. iMagine up 2-0. Snail starting over here in flight control. iMagine across the way in data.
So we're going back to arms lib, so we're not going to have any cheese from Legendary Snails. Sys coming out from iMagine, so not looking to do any sort of chair rush, it looks like here, like did last time.
iMagine just spreading out, getting those parasites up. Alcalde has an ambush set up for Heracles in Atrium. Gets the drop. Takes him out with the parasite. Eagle Eye does clean up Wob in sub-axis.
That's a big win too, because there's not really anyone in position to defend. And Zestral's the closest one, but he's hurt, so he might be able to get this for free here.
B1 and Onzor are both responding.
Oh, there's a flank from Onzor here.
That was a good play. B1's baiting out the shots while Onzor sneaks up from behind.
Yeah, showed a lot of patience and restraint there, not to just dive in. Good news is this is turning into a standard game. Babbler's completed. See if B1 starts utilizing those pretty soon to get an early advantage.
Cabron and Ancestral trying to work a little bit on these two guys in cross. Cabron's just going to sneak past the summit. He could pretty easily go base, but he's going to chew on Crevice instead.
I think that's a good call. They may not be exactly aware of where the entire team is. Although I think he's making a mistake here to just dive through base. He didn't get any scout. He doesn't know there's an arms lab first. That would have been good information to read.
Heracles and Dams in reactor core. So Snails kind of did this slow progressive cap across the map, and now they're sitting in the alien natural.
Right, they're on 4, going to possibly 5 or 6. And I am doing a good job. Make sure they get the res behind this, and not just dealing directly with what's at their front door. Because if they just completely deal with Heracles and Dams and commit to that, then there's always a follow-up, and then they constantly are on res. They need to get these RTs down quickly.
A little bit of a skirmish, and Comp Lab as King Yo cleans up the 2 Marines that took out that Harvester.
Still haven't seen any Babblers unless they missed it up in Glass Hallway.
He put them
there's
on
some right now,
somebody,
but not on anyone.
but they fell off. I don't think he realizes you can only have them on one person.
And you can only have 5, yeah.
You can have 10 Babblers total, but you can only put Babblers on one person.
Right, but you can't put all 10 on.
Right. It's a max of, I think there's 6 hook points on each character model. So these scopes are going to take out Crossroads, and then I'd assume they push out to Crevice.
Got a Robo building up in Reactor. That's...
It's going to be
I
turrets.
wonder if that's, yeah, it's for turrets, because it can't be for arcs, right? Because it's too far away for a reinforce.
Dam's almost getting B1's Gorge. That would have been a pretty good pickoff. Here come the turrets.
It's going to be a good pickup if they're early enough before the turrets go up, but they're not reacting to it at all, unfortunately.
This is going to be such a pain in the butt. Turrets at your natural.
Now the good news is that with Reactor, that doesn't really block you off from the map. You can still take the vent, you can still get through to cross through Glass Hallway and through Pipe. So I mean, it stops you a little bit, but not too much. And it is a heavy investment from the Marines.
This is a dead Gorge. Heracles from the back end. Does manage to take him out. 3 Marines in cross, 2 Marines going south side. Dams is just camping the end of this vent. Ancestral's in for a surprise.
We're a minute late for Lurks. Alright, so this is the first time they're seeing turrets unless they heard Reactor.
A lot of movement going on, but not a lot of action. King Yo is probably going to get crushed here in maintenance.
And turrets are decent, but only with being defended. Like Reactor, they should know that there's no one there, and that's a bunch of res that they can just take for free. Not for free, but down really quickly. That battery should die before maybe like a Skulk is dead.
If you go straight on the battery with 3 Skulks, you can kill it before any of the Skulks die. But you have to like all go in at the same time and spread the damage around a little bit. B1 doing some damage up on the back res. Wolf is going to be engaging him shortly. 2 Lurks, 3 Lurks in the sub vent. We do have turrets at base though. They just put turrets everywhere.
The turrets are extremely good versus Lurks. Lurks mainly excel because they're good at dodging shots, but turrets don't
Look at
miss.
Onzar, look at Onzar, see
turrets
you
don't
later!
miss. 2 Lurks, yeah. 1%.
Oh,
Almost
and
lose
Enzi.
3 Lurks to the turrets. Yeah, so Lurks are only good because they can dodge it. When the turrets are exceptionally good at taking them down. And this is I don't see I am finding a way back from this. The only possibilities are base rush, but the turrets are going to stop that. They've already lost 2 lurks, so there's not really any sort of comeback from that as far as life forms goes, particularly with losing your only natural. And they don't have the biomass anywhere close to get bio bomb for a base rush hit with gorges. I don't really see their way out of this, particularly with Snails being on 7 RTs.
Yeah, the IM's only gonna have 1 fade. They did 3 lurks and 1 gorge. Dams is working on their base harvester, so they may lose that. They're gonna lose this redrop in ventilation. They're really in a lot of trouble, and Snails have secured so much res that they have their upgrades coming. They've invested how much res in turrets? 3 full sets plus an extra battery drop.
Right. But mainly it went uncontested. For instance, Reactor, once that Robo went up, before the turrets, I don't think I've seen a Skulk in there, or even near that room the entire time. So that means basically no one on the north end.
Still looking to do a base hit here, but Anzi doesn't have enough health, and both of the Skulks are already chipped. You can't take out the turrets like that.
Every one of the Skulks is about half dead. This will be GG after these three Skulks die here.
Eagle Eye cleaning them all up. And GG. Turrets going up in ventilation.
So the main thing with turrets is that you can break them. It's a pain in the ass to break them, and it'll be tough to take that fight. But the Marines typically don't have a full team there. They'll have like 1 or 2 Marines. If there's more than that, they just ignore it because that's where all the Marines are. But if there's 1 or 2 Marines and you're able to win that fight, then you kill a whole bunch of their T-res off the bat. And if with that they can't get upgrades or anything else, as long as you've been decent on the res to begin with. So the early game, they just weren't really good on their the Marine Extractors. They're playing way too defensive, and the engagements that they're trying to win on their res, they just weren't winning.
And then they responded to the turrets by going 3 lurks and going to base. And that's just not going to work against turrets and base with 2 Marines there. If there were no Marines in base, it would have been fine, because they could have just spiked the turrets down. Or with like 1 or 2 Skulks there, they could just dive on the battery. You can take turrets out without Biobomb. You don't need to wait for that. You just need to do it as a group. And they're actually really easy to take down if you have a Gorge.
Right, and that's the key component too, is that, the base hit, you probably weren't going to have a Gorge unless someone gorged on that side of the map, but for instance, like Reactor, or possibly Cross if they weren't there, or like if they were there sparsely, you could have gone in with a Gorge and then soaked up a lot of damage and healed through it to where you only lose like maybe a Skulk, if that. That's effectively killing like an upgrade, that's killing weapons 1, killing armor 1. Maybe a little bit, well actually a little bit more.
Going live in the last round of iMagine versus Snails. iMagine's up 2-1. It's been cheese all the way through basically. Snails starting up in atrium. iMagine on the south side. And they're gonna go no power build, so I'd expect mines out of this armory.
Right, I would think that too. If you're going to go for shotgun rush, you need to get the armory up faster. So I would expect mines.
Snails looking to engage somewhere. They're going to do it in maintenance. Honzor gets taken out. 4 Skulks here to engage on summit or on ventilation.
Now it's
all
so
really hurt.
yeah.
And Dam's just kind of throwing his life away a little bit there.
And unfortunately, they saw that they had 4 and may have not been able to communicate exactly what their health was at. So they saw 4, but really you're looking at 2 and a little bit more with the Skulk, and you get cleaned up pretty easy like that.
5th extractor dropped already. They're looking to cap really hard.
Well, they just got a pretty big clear over in ventilation, so they're probably like thinking, okay, well, let's just cap because we don't want to run into respawners as we're hitting the naturals. We'll cap, we'll clear another wave and then push.
King Yo sneaks through to base. Iros is out of the chair waiting for him. B1 alone with no medpack support. Gets taken out in comp lab. Iros is back in the chair. This comp lab harvester will go down. Ownsor clearing assistant crevice.
And I'm going to take crevice. I think this is a good play here. Not really anyone in position to challenge him, and it kind of blocks it off for a while, and they have to devote time to taking that out before they can move to the field.
P1 putting mines in the vent. Heracles surprises him but doesn't get the kill. Wob putting pressure up in reactor core. He has 1 marine, 2 marines coming to reinforce. This is looking real good for IM.
That's looking really, really powerful. Like, what do you do with this reactor push? I mean, reactor's kind of hard to dive into if you don't have any higher life forms or a gorge.
Especially when you're on equal numbers as skulks.
Right.
Now you're less numbers, you can't really go in there.
Luckily, they've got a flank from King Yo, and he hasn't given himself away yet, so he might be able to pick the guy back in glass hallway.
There we go with a good engagement.
Perfect.
1 flank.
Yeah, that was all because King Yo was there from behind. So, they're still in this. Upgrades have not been started yet. They do have a good amount of res income right now, but if they get a couple extractors down quickly, I think that they can kind of turn this around a little bit. And we are really close to lurk. We're less than a minute from lurks. So, with no upgrades, this can be the time to shine and kind of like switch the, turn the tables.
Snails can take this crevice extractor down and probably drop that right away while they work on all the other res. So Marines just got knocked down to 5 RTs, about to be 4.
Yeah, that reactor clear was critical.
B1 winning the fight in Summit, so he's going to die this Harvester for at least a little bit. Snails knows about the 3 Marines on this right side of the map. Looks like they're just going to crush Alcalde here. There are mines in all of these vents. Heracles is going to get taken out. Eagle Eye and King Yo have to be careful. 1 goes down.
Alright, need to get those lurks up as soon as possible. Armor 1 just about completed.
Well, we see Air France.
Two so far. The 2 that I would have expected.
2 Marines pushing in. Empty clip. King Yo comes in from behind. This will get cleaned up pretty easily.
A follow-up pressured reactor, but the lurk should be able to deal with that.
But they're not bouncing back. Only King Yo's going to come out reactor side. Oh, here comes Heracles.
Ancestral hiding. Ready for King Yo and mech. Meaning
That's
he's
a
dead.
lot of damage.
Oh,
He
yep.
goes down. Very nice play by Ancestral.
And they baited it out perfectly. Ancestral wasn't parasited, so he was on that hit around the corner, and they expected just 1 Marine, or if there was more, that they'd be both the other side covering each other.
The other Marine there played it really well too by turning his back to the doorway and firing on the Harvester. I don't know if that was intentional, but it certainly worked out. Heracles taking some huge damage from Ownsor, and he's kind of in a bad position here too. But Eagle Eye and King Yo able to get him out of there. Shotties are out. Weapons 1 on the way.
Shotties are out, but if they can get these shotguns down and stop them from recovering them, the P-Res is getting to like a scary spot right now.
Yeah, there have been a lot of mines dropped. Heracles coming in to try to help Eagle Eye out with 2 Marines. I don't know if this is a good fight. Especially with the pressure up in reactor. I think Heracles has to pull for that. Wolf trying to get the pick.
Oh my, he almost got
Really
it.
close.
Staying up the res. Marines down to 3 extractors, actually, at this point.
Skulks are doing a great job of avoiding the Marines and trying to do the structure damage.
Nice, picking off one of the shotguns. 2 shotguns possibly by King Yo. Oh, almost. But still, the armor's broken. Heracles might not want to take that. Oh. But there's no one in position to get these shotguns. If they clear them fast enough, the follow-up from... Oh, Wob is actually going to build. So these shotguns, once they're gone, they're gone. So that's a really big win for them right now.
So we're looking at 2 more shotguns possibly being bought by Onzor and B1. Both of whom are up in crevice, so they're not going to get those shotties out anytime soon.
Wob can afford one in a minute, but that's it for a long time.
Onzor and B1 both in the respawn queue, so expect those shotguns to be bought right away. And all this res on the left side is going to die. Heracles is going to pull back to try to delay these Marines in reactor.
Oh, they can't really lose this. They're only on just the one. They are echoing out from base instead of building their naturals, which is smart with how much pressure that they're getting at their naturals right now.
It is smart that it puts out full health harvesters, but it's a lot slower.
I wouldn't say it's a lot slower.
We only have 1 harvester being built instead of 2. Here's that shotgun in Summit. Looks like Onzor elected not to take one. They're sending solo shotgunners to crush.
Yeah, that was
can't really afford it.
bad.
Snails just running around a huge pack.
Yeah, nothing left to lose in reactor, so they're gonna go ahead and just take down the res. They know that crevice is clear for now unless there's a follow-up from flight.
Did a Skulk even die in that fight?
No, it was really close though. that was a
That's
convincing
a really
clear.
good fight. There's the last shotty on the field. Well, I guess Wob can buy one now, but Onzor has a shotty taking it up through the west side. These Marines are split though. If they can pick B1 before the 2 Marines get together, then this pressure's not going to really accomplish anything.
Tablet started in preparation for Fates.
It's going to be a pretty good timing. Well,
That's be a little
out a
early.
little early, yeah.
But that's fine.
Wolf getting all... Oh, getting only 2 of the 3 parasites out. I am backing off on the pressure, knowing that they just need to get their res up before they can push all out again. Alien's still only on 2 because they're echoing these harvesters out. Two Marines pushing into reactor, gonna force a response from the aliens. Heracles has to heal before they can respond to this. They might be able to just clean this up. Oh!
Zestial needs a med? Oh man, he was at like 1 hit point.
Heracles taking huge hits. He cannot re-engage in this fight.
They should be able to clear it up without him. Yeah.
Anzi getting the double kill though. And Crevice goes down. And they won't even lose Vent for this because Dams is going to have to pull off for the respawn.
Yeah, it took them, I think, a little bit too long to deal with that. Now the Marines are back up onto 7 res nodes. This is dangerous. They couldn't really allow them to get them back up to this point.
They spent so much time they didn't really do anything while the Marines were capping. If they had packed together and cleared something to stop at least one of the sides from getting recapped, I think they would be in a much better spot. B1 pinching what he's parasited. 2 Marines in the hive going for the upgrades. Eagle Eye's there to respond. Simba can get out of the chair.
I think he needs to. If he had been
Or
there, right,
Eagle
the
Eye
fight,
just-
yeah, if he had been there, they would have cleared both of them.
I might save the
Spur
spur though.
so low, it's at 3%.
Oh, Heracles takes a full shot.
Oh my gosh. Onzo, just shoot it.
He's got it.
He's shooting the wrong one. Oh, okay. So they do clear spur, but they also lose a shotgun out of that, so. Barely get the spur too.
One shotgun for one spur, not really worth it when you're on such low P-res. Although everybody's back up above 20. Wow, really good job just backing up during that fight.
Alright, Fades are now on the field. So we'll see if they can kind of turn us around. I think they really need to just pack and start clearing sides. They did a really good job clearing out Flight and making sure they don't have Crevice. But they need to probably switch here and just clear the other side now. Nothing in Crevice to lose.
We'll probably see Wolf go fade, maybe? Oh no, he's gonna stay Skulk. This is probably because they need to maintain some rest pressure. Even with the fade changes, you can't really do a whole lot of damage to structures until the armor is cleared. So 3 fades isn't super viable without like a Skulk or something to clear the armor.
I think the 3 Fades is fine as long as you're in a winning position or you're ahead at the time of the Fades. But the Marines had too much res up at the timing of Fades in order to transition into that.
All these shotguns, but they're not. Oh, Dams is really low.
You guys gonna get cut in reactor?
They're gonna have to exit through crevice.
Oh, it's a big kill in Crossroads because I can't reset the shotgun then.
This crevice or reactor R2 will go down. They're gonna opt to try to expand out the flight side instead. Next thing to do is gonna have to be clear out these 2 shotgunners up on the north side.
Alright, at this point you should be almost hunting shotguns to like get them down so they don't just spiral out of control with P-res. That's a good split there.
Very good bone wall. Oh, Eagle Eye getting stuck though. And here's a 3rd Marine.
Oh, Heracles goes down.
Heracles taken out.
I think even versus the 2 Marines, that was a risky play there. The 3rd one kind of set over the top, but versus 2, I mean, you can get pieced out pretty quickly.
Phase gates are done. There's not one in base yet, and they don't have the res to drop one. Hokkalde sneaking around through the vent behind the fades.
Oh, sacrificing these shotguns here.
17 extractors killed in 15 minutes. Aliens have maintained about 2 harvesters the entire time.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like an impressive number, but you have to consider the fact that for a lot of this, the Marines have had a lot of extractors, up to 7 at some points.
Yeah, they've really averaged 4 throughout the entire game. And that's just not low enough to really have a severe impact on the Marine economy.
Yeah, so they've killed a lot of extractors, but the Marines have also had a lot more than your average amount. So back up to 3 harvesters, probably gonna echo out to reactor and start working on a 4th. If they can keep Marines out of flight, that will put them in a pretty good position actually, in order to start taking over flight. Still not a phase gate in base yet. Haven't been able to make use of that tech quite yet. Still trying to recap. And putting one in Crossroads before putting one at base.
Which is a little bit of a risk, but I think it's pretty justified. You're going to have some pressure up in reactor, which should pull the life forms over to defend that.
Well, right now they can see the gate's not up. If they can clear this Marine before it goes up in base, which is getting built now, that's taking too long to kill B1 though. That took way too long.
And
That's-
Alcalde can pull.
Wolf needs to get on the gate.
They're not even going to try to save it. Oh, they're pulling back from reactor to try to save it. That might be too late.
Armor's broken, get on it.
That took a little bit too long to get on it.
It
and
took
if
a
both
long
fades
time
were
to get on
hitting
it.
as well, that gate would have been dead.
Yeah. It also took, I think, a little bit too long to clear B1. He moved up to the tech point, which is good. Bought some more time. I mean, you're talking like a second or two extra time travel, but that's enough where I think that it saved the gate a little bit.
Eagle Eye just hiding around this corner in Summit, but he doesn't have any support to engage these Marines yet.
And he's scanned too, so I mean, they see him coming from behind. Oh, alright, taking big hits.
That's really dangerous. Bonewall saves his life.
I don't think so. He was out of ammo.
Oh, well, B1 was focusing the lurk. That's probably why he survived.
So they still maintained the fades through this, which is good. They have enough to get another look up, which I think they really need, because it's going to be too hard to break the armor with just the fades.
We do have this reactor gate.
They're going to lose.
Dams.
That's why you need the lurk, is that the fades can't stay in and keep doing that over and over. Eventually, you're just going to lose a fade.
Definitely.
So King Yo, I think, needs to transition here since Heracles went down again. Wilf is not too far off from Onos as well.
It is going to be about 3 minutes, though.
They need
Snails-
that lurk.
Yeah. Snails really needs to win these fights and win them faster. We have a our factory dropped in reactor. Looks like it's turrets. This crossroads gate will go down.
Which is good. This will open them up. They're already expanded to flight, so this helps them a little bit on their expansion side. They don't have to worry so much about being too defensive. They know that Marines can't really reinforce if they pressure flight.
This is a mistake going straight up for reactor. All the Marines were alive at this point, so there's going to be at least 2 on the gate. It would have been better to kill the crossroads RT at the very least, and then send the skulks out to the right side to clear res. Heracles winning a fight in glass hallway.
And they saw the robo, so they need to be, I think, they might be saving for bile. They've already got the biomass for it.
Heracles with a good flank, even though he's low health. Eagle Eye forced out. There's a lot of pressure coming out from IM. 2 Marines in crevice. 3 Marines kind of pushing into the hive with a Mac to weld them. But
Arcs are
every
building.
single extractor is getting hit. I don't
Yeah,
think
this
you
is
can afford
gonna-
the arcs here.
Well, if they keep building arcs and they go for it, this can easily turn into an all-in. Which can work because they don't have bile started. I think it's a mistake. They could have had it up by now.
They really don't have to worry about the phase gate too much because they have the turrets. A single skulk. Oh, the bile is done.
Is it? Oh, I thought it was something else. Okay, yeah, so they need that gorge.
Heracles is gorging right now to bile.
That must have been started way back when I wasn't even paying attention.
Marines are only on 1 or 2 extractors. If they clear out reactor,
And the
this could
turrets are
turn the
going
game
down.
around.
Turrets down. Perfect. Now they need to engage us as a group before the hive dies. Oh, he's going for the gate. That would be a big win if they can get this gate. No more reinforce. Wow, this is going to put them in an awful position.
That gate's gonna get grinded, and Heracles is working on the arcs. B1's coming around to try to save him.
He thinks he's going to try and pick a fade. Dams could go down. Wow, back down to 2 extractors, and they're going to lose reactor 2, which will put them down to 1 with no res. They need to recycle that quickly just to get some res back.
It's recycling now.
They're going to
They're
get
gonna-
a little back from it. I
They're
don't
gonna
think
drop
that much.
demolition, I think.
So wow, aliens, from what looked like it could have been a loss, pulled that back. Really good response.
I think iMagine just overextended on the pressure a little bit. They had 2 Marines in crevice, 3 Marines pushing into the hive while all the skulks were already in the backfield taking out their res. They lost 3 harvesters, or 3 extractors, within the span of 20 seconds.
And that's an appropriate response. If you see a robo going up and there's Marines there to defend it, it's going to be a while before they can get the arcs. Not a long time, but enough for you to do some damage in the back. And that's what you're going to need as a follow-up. Because if you just try and constantly battle the arcs, then even if they lose it, on the backside they have all their res.
Wolf is up his Onos too, so he's just going to be able to bully around this map. If they just stay in a big pack, they just clear down one side, go back, clear down the other side. Marines are never going to be able to reestablish the res. Eagle Eye just delaying while Wolf works on the RT.
And don't have to worry about P-Res too much at this point on Alien side, because they've got the life forms that really they need. King Yo's looks like he's maybe going a fade? Yeah, so 3 fades now.
3 fades, Gorge and Onos. Heracles dropped a tunnel here in ventilation, but that's not really a big deal.
Phase Gate going up in Crevice, but it's going to get spotted by Eagle Eye, who might be able to pick because they're both facing the same way. Yep, there's one that's definitely not going up. That's some more lost res there.
The Onos there. And Wolf is probably going to come to take out power and fight. Three Marines pushing up into cross. They're looking for a cross gate now.
Yeah, I think this is... I think it's going to be too hard because you have to get the power back on. You have to deal with the life forms. You're not going to have res for a long engagement with meds plus getting the power on in order to get the phase gate up too. Especially with no shotguns.
They're only on armor 1 here. Like, it's armor 2, I think it could be doable, but armor 1, all 3 fades come in, they swipe the same Marine, that Marine dies.
And I'm not seeing a way back for this for Marines. They're going to lose comp lab here. Aliens are going to 5 harvesters with, you know, all the life forms that they need to win from this point.
Alien's starting to turn around, finally getting up above 2 harvesters. Or above 3, rather. 4 Marines with shotguns coming through ventilation. This is an all-out push. King Yo almost getting taken out. Blackbard able to survive.
It looks like they're going to try and settle for... there's no way you take this all the way to the hive.
Looks like that's what they're doing, though. Heracles in the base piling the obs.
And the gate's dropped. Power's already up still, so if they can get that built, they might be able to phase back. Yeah, they push the aliens out.
Gate.
Okay,
Heracles and dams are both really low. There's no way they can stay here.
Kind of breath of fresh air there, but still, I mean, dealing with the Onos 3 fade.
And they're just 1 by 1-ing.
And if they go now, they're going to lose this gate. If the alien's going right now. Crossroads started.
All 3 Marines falling back into data. They kind of have to get the data gate.
Yeah, unfortunately the power's also down there. Doing a good job getting the power down behind the Marines to make sure that they can't just reinforce easily.
All 3 shotguns in here.
Oh!
Oh. It's gonna say they were all missing and then Go just evaporated.
Which is fine though, because they still have the 2 fades, and I think honestly they kind of need a lurk. So you know, in
this arm is gonna die. Heracles with the bio bomb in base. He might get the phase gate as well.
And the phase gate, there's wow.
And he might get the armory as well. That armory's dead too.
And the comp's dead. Yep, that's it.
Oh, the armory didn't quite die, but it's not a big deal. The com is dead. 2 Marines
I don't think
here.
it's gonna play into how the game goes from here.
3 Marines coming back. Ancestral in the vent. Here they go. Drifter down.
We'll just ignore him. It's getting the IPs.
Damn's really low.
I don't
Goes
know,
down to a mine.
Oh, could lose the Onos here, but they can't. They can get the arms lag back up, but you know, where's your res?
Yeah.
Poofing that computer lab, I think, was a mistake. They really needed that res. And vent's so low. That's gonna go down here. Heracles is gonna see that.
Are you gonna save this data harvester as well with assists? There's really no way for the Marines come back.
So this is basically what the aliens had versus the Marines in the beginning game. 7-2 with barely a natural.
The 7 extractors, or 7 harvesters, mean a little bit more for the aliens, though, because their life forms are just going to come right back up when they die. Crossroads will be up in about 20 seconds.
Ooh, Wilf actually taking a lot of damage there.
Had to put some on Biomass 4. We'll expect to see Umbra started right away.
Yep, and King Yo now has enough to go lurk again.
Marines are forced to walk around in these giant packs because of the Zonos. Wolf taking some big hits, but the Fades all land their swipes. Clean them up before the Onos can die. GG is called.
GG.
That actually turned into a pretty good game.
Yeah, it was nice to get like one actual game out of that.
3 cheeses and a game. So, final score 2-2, iMagine and Snails.
Premier still without any 4-0 wins for the season.
It's been mostly 3-1s, hasn't it? I think Son is the only team that has entirely 2-2s so far.
Yeah, that's the that's the 4th 2-2. So it's a lot of 2-2s.
That's it for us today. There are a lot of matches being played today still. If you check the NSL website on the right hand side, there's a list with links to the streams. Pretty sure Ren has at least one more match being casted that he's casting over at twitch.tv/Ren26.
There's supposed to be a Sonic Godar game day, but that got canceled or rescheduled or something.
Let me check on that. Yeah, that got rescheduled to next weekend. We do have Omnom versus 3 Hours Later being casted on the Singing Skulk. And I believe Gorge Casting Couch versus Perfect Beckers is still going on Vindaloo's channel.
Yeah, I think unfortunately that round, I mean, the Marines, they could have pushed Atrium once they realized that the Skulks were out on their res so hard. There was 3 ATs taking damage at the same time, and you had turrets on your phase gate. I mean, you could have just pushed the Hive, forced a reaction, and if they didn't react to you, well, then you just kill the Hive. You don't need to wait for the arcs.
Yeah, that's a pretty good point. A single arc sitting there doing damage while all your Marines are in the Hive, it's such a big deal.
Right.
It's just constant damage being put out, and they have to deal with all your Marines before they can deal with the arcs. Like, maybe you can try to put one Skulk on the arc and pull a Marine back and pick him off first, but you really have to deal with those Marines first. Alright, well that's it from us today. Thanks for tuning in, everybody, and hopefully we'll see you again soon.